Uh, Hello, my name is Basele Stephen, the Executive Director of Pastoralist Goals Foundation. And Pastoralist Goals Foundation works in Northern Kenya with pastoralist communities. And our underlying vision is that pastoralist communities understand their challenges, the challenges of the rangelands. They understand, those landscapes very well. And therefore, even including the variability of climate variability within those rangelands. And therefore, because of that, communities are also at a better position to understand solutions to the problems that are affecting them. Therefore, as pastoralist goals, we believe that our work should facilitate communities in developing themselves through their own self-determined goals. Now, this year, as pastoralist communities converge in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, both for the global gathering of pastoralists and also for COP17, it's imperative that development partners, communities, CSOs, and everyone else will be gathered there understands that pastoralist communities have priorities. Pastoralist communities in Northern Kenya, for instance, our priorities are: one, we need our rangelands protected. The importance of protecting the rangelands is because our livelihood depends on these rangelands, both people, livestock, and different other biodiversity within the rangelands. And to protect this, we need secure tenure rights. For instance, in Kenya, we have the Community Land Act, but most of those communities have very insecure tenure rights to their land, because the land is either unregistered, the land, and it's targeted by large-scale investors, both in green energy transition, conservation, and forest conservation and that, and different other investors who are targeting these community lands. Secondly, communities have lost a lot of grazing areas, but also mobility routes, livestock mobility routes. Livestock used to move from one county to another. They move from one ecosystem to another, from mountains to the drylands, from the drylands to the plateaus of Marsabit and other areas. But now, most of these lands are either fenced in as conservation areas, or private individuals have encroached into it. When you go to urban centers, we no longer have traditional livestock movement routes existing. So as communities, we demand that governments and other stakeholders ensure that we demarcate livestock mobility routes, and for those that have been grabbed already, we restore them to pastoralist communities. Secondly, on land registration, I think we need to fast track community land registration. But as we fast track community land registration, we should also be aware to the fact that, for instance, the Land Act, the Community Land Act 2016 in Kenya, allows communities to self-identify. Once they self-identify, then protect their own territories. But an important aspect of that is that we also need to understand what is the motive behind land registration. When we put the priority for land registration as we need to register community land so that it's more accessible to investors, then we'll not be doing the right thing for pastoralist communities. The underlying reason for protecting tenure security is so that pastoralist communities can continue to thrive as pastoralists now and into the future. On financing, when looking at the finances that are available to either climate financing, development finance that goes to the rangelands or to pastoralists, less than 1% of it actually goes directly to pastoralist communities. Pastoralism on its own is a climate resilient system. It's both a livelihood system, it's a cultural system, it's a spiritual system. And as indigenous people, we believe that once you are able to communicate and have a relationship with the nature and the landscape in which you live in, the landscape will get to hear you, you'll get to hear the landscape, and you can talk, and you are able to even in the face of climate change, you're able to, sustainably stay resilient in those ecosystems. Lastly, we also need to include young people and women in our journey to sustainable rangelands. Thank you.